You know that Indianapolis is booming, but what areas outside of the city are booming the most? We have a lot of suburbs that are coming up in a big way around Indianapolis, and I want to show you the 3 fastest growing ones on today's episode of Living in Indianapolis, Indiana. But before we get to that, my name's Evan Deal. I'm with the Lead Icon team in eXp Realty, and I help people like you every day find their dream home in and around the Circle City that we call home. So with that, let's dive into it. Regular viewers of this channel know that we love to not only cover the city of Indianapolis, but also all of the amazing areas around Indy. And some of these areas are growing faster than others. We have a lot of already highly developed areas, places like Greenwood, Avon, Carmel, all over the city. But there's a next emerging group of suburbs around Indianapolis that I really want to shine a light on today. Some of these are bigger than others, but all 3 of them are so fast growing. They're some of the fastest places in all of Indiana, and certainly they are the fastest around Indianapolis. So let's count them down 3 to 1. Number 3, McCordsville, Indiana. That's right. You know I love talking about McCordsville. So what about it makes it so fast growing? Well, McCordsville is located on the east side of Indianapolis, kind of in the northeast area. And you'll notice a trend with each of these is that they're all adjacent to areas that have exploded in growth over time. And now there's not as much area to build anymore. So in McCordsville's case, that area is Fishers. You have Fishers in the northeast. And then you have the Geist district of Fishers. There's also part of Geist in Indianapolis, part of it in McCordsville. And so you see McCordsville growing sort of south of Fishers. And the population growth is really tremendous. The population in 2000 was only 1,134. Over the next 20 years, that grew all the way to 8,592 people. And now in 2025, the latest estimate is 12,458 people. That is humongous growth. So McCordsville's population has grown almost 1,000% since the turn of the century. And even in just the last 5 years, it's grown 45%, which makes it the 3rd fastest growing suburb around Indianapolis. With all that increased population in McCordsville, we also see an increase in housing. So the amount of housing in McCordsville is growing substantially. In fact, there's a whole new downtown being developed called the McCord Square District, where you see all sorts of apartments and new housing in the area. There are townhomes being built in McCordsville. There are single family homes. Whatever you're looking for, if you're looking for new construction, it's all over the place. And of course, there are existing homes as well. And even though you see an increasing volume in the amount of homes available in McCordsville, the median home price keeps climbing more and more, with the latest estimates being well over $400,000, up to like $422,000 in 2025. So, as you can see, a lot of demand in this area, where it was previously a very rural community. Now, for schools, McCordsville is serviced by Mount Vernon School Corporation, which, according to like aniche.com, is pretty well considered in the state. It's around number 38 on the whole in terms of school systems across Indiana, which is very high up in the rankings. Not quite as high as like neighboring Fishers or Carmel on the north side, but well above the state average, according to the rankings. And as I said, what's driving the growth in McCordsville? It's mostly spillover from Fishers. The northeast area of Indianapolis continues to boom in terms of population growth. You see Fishers, Noblesville growing, and McCordsville is the southern tip of that spear. And you'll see growth continue out over time. After McCordsville, the next one to grow is probably going to be Fortville or Ingalls, or all these areas along 69 and the adjacent areas just out past Geist Reservoir. Number 2 on our list is actually not a small suburb at all, which is a really amazing testament to how fast it's growing, because it's Westfield, Indiana. Now, I saw some other realtor on YouTube say that Westfield was like a shrinking place, or why people are moving away from there. And I thought that was the craziest thing I've ever seen, because Westfield has consistently been one of, if not the fastest growing area in all of Indiana. Now, if McCordsville was the outgrowth from Fishers being very highly developed. Westfield is the natural outgrowth of Carmel being fully developed. So Carmel sits on top of the city, right? I call it the crown jewel. On top of the crown jewel is the next crown jewel, which is Westfield, and there's a ton of development in Westfield. I mean, I've seen on the MLS before, like a small single family home on a relatively small lot in downtown Westfield, what has been historically Westfield's downtown. They go for almost $1 million asking price. Why is that? Because there's such a hunger for development in Westfield. The population growth is immense. Let's look at the statistics. In 2000, Westfield had a population of 14,592 people. By 2020, that had tripled to 42,220. And now the latest estimates in 2025 have it at 66,986 people. So Westfield has more than quadrupled this century, or this millennium. And that's really tremendous growth because it wasn't the smallest city to begin with, but the north side of Indianapolis has continued to be a very, very popular place to live, and you see the natural progression of the population as a result. Now, you can't drive through Westfield without seeing tons of new build options. There are townhomes galore. Townhomes kind of help keep an entry-level price for areas that are in high demand. So the single-family homes in Westfield, you're going to see a much higher price, especially if you're building new. And there are a ton of new build communities. Obviously, I'd love to cover them all. You've seen them on this channel, and if you haven't, you really need to check them out. Same for McCordsville as well. And same for our number one that we'll get to in a minute. Stay tuned. But within all these communities, you see rising home values. Let's check out the stat for the median home value. In Westfield, as of 2025, it's up to $513,000. A couple years ago, it would have been in the 400,000 range, but now we're cresting $500,000 as home values continue to rise and as demand in Westfield continues to rise. It's high. It has a high price point of entry. Now we're talking median value here. There are homes that are less than that. You can find homes in the 300,000s and definitely in the 400,000s throughout Westfield. You can even find new builds in those price points, and probably more in the 400s, unless you're looking at townhomes. But looking in the 200s, it's going to be very, very challenging in Westfield. Now, you can also go the other direction, and there are luxury options, especially in the Chatham area of Westfield. But also, there's plenty of areas that are still rural and that you can build an estate if you're looking for land in Westfield. So Chatham's not your only option. There are other luxury areas of Westfield. But regardless, that median home price continues to rise. Part of that comes from the school system. So Westfield schools are ranked pretty highly in the state according to the ranking sites. Let's take a look. As of 2025, Westfield Washington schools are up to number 7 in the state of Indiana. That's a big rise over time, and it's putting Westfield competitively in the rankings next to Hamilton Southeastern, Zionsville, Carmel, and a lot of the other public school systems around the state and around the north side of Indianapolis. Now, unlike some of the other towns on our list here, Westfield actually has more industry developing within the city itself, similar to other cities in Hamilton County, Noblesville, Fishers, Carmel. Some of those employers include IMMI, which does vehicle safety systems manufacturing, AgReliant Genetics, they do agriculture, and Revere Industries, so metal, plastic components, manufacturing, aerospace, automotive. Not only that, Westfield, much like McCordsville, has downtown projects. So you see the character of Westfield continuing to evolve over time. Not only do you have Grand Park for your sports, and if you know anything about Westfield, you know that Grand Park is like a gigantic sports heart for youth sports inside of Westfield. We have Grand Universe coming in Westfield as well. So if you're into aerospace, if you're into astronaut, outer space stuff, all of that's coming both from like a research standpoint as well as a public access and educational standpoint. But there's so much going. There's so many community events developing in Grand Junction, and it's just an amazing area for growth. There's really no limit to what's happening in Westfield, and that's why it's number 2 on this list. It's fast growing, and there's no signs of slowdown. Number 1! Whitestown, Indiana. Oh boy. Now, if we're looking at this from a percentage growth, you cannot beat Whitestown, because let's take a trip back in time. Hop in the time machine. Back in 2000, 471 people lived in Whitestown. Okay? Today, over 15,000 people. In fact, we went from 471 to 10,187 in 2020. That's where you saw the tremendous amount of growth, the annexation of 6,500 acres to make the actual town larger geographically, to today having 15,617 people estimated at in 2025. For anyone keeping track, that's over 3,000% growth since the turn of the century. And even in the last 5 years alone, we've seen 53% growth. So this is just amazing growth in Whitestown. And if we follow the trend, we saw McCordsville come out of Fishers, we saw Westfield come out of Carmel, Whitestown comes out from Zionsville. So the additional growth from Zionsville is happening in Whitestown right now. That's why we see such tremendous population growth. Now, what's interesting about Whitestown is, unlike the others, they're serviced by two primary school corporations. So you have Zionsville, which is traditionally ranked in the top 3 to 5 in the state amongst public schools, but check your local rankings. And then you also have Lebanon schools, which are above average in the state of Indiana, according to the rankings. Not quite as highly ranked as Zionsville, but still above that state average. And another thing about Whitestown that makes it more similar to Westfield is that there's a lot of industry growing in the area itself. That's a little different than McCordsville. Both of them, McCordsville and Whitestown, traditionally rural communities that are developing into really large suburbs and are on their way to becoming cities, bigger cities in their own right. Whitestown has a lot of fulfillment centers in it. They're kind of in their own district within Whitestown. If you head out kind of west and south within the city, you'll see them. It's like a whole city of fulfillment centers. So there are a lot of jobs associated with operations and logistics, Amazon, that type of work, ready to be had right there in Whitestown. So if that is your line of trade, there's tons of housing options in Whitestown and a great time to get in there right now. There's new build communities. We cover them on this channel. Definitely be sure to check those out. But in addition to new builds, there are existing homes as well. There are more modestly priced homes, and there are brand spanking new builds that you can build that are significantly larger homes. So no matter what you're looking for, there's a bit of new and old in Whitestown. So that is our look at the 3 fastest growing suburbs of Indianapolis. Did any of them surprise you? Is there anything you think we left out? Now, if you search this yourself, technically Monrovia is number 2. But Monrovia is much smaller than these 3. There's not even 2,000 people living there yet. So we'll keep our eye on Monrovia over time. And the rest of these 3 are going to continue to boom for the foreseeable future. And the investment is there. The investment is there in downtowns. The investment is there in housing, in schools. So if you're interested in living on the north side of Indianapolis, and McCordsville is kind of east, but it's northeast. The other 2, northwest and north, hey, there's a lot of opportunity to be had. And the get-in price for each of these communities is going to be cheaper on average than it is their more established neighbors in Zionsville, Carmel, and Fishers. So if you're looking in any of these areas, let me know, because I help people like you do it every single day. My contact information is below. The first thing I'd love to do with you is sit down and actually talk through what your goals are. Even if you're a year out or 2 years out, or maybe you're 2 weeks out and you want to move right away. Regardless, book some time on my calendar. Use the Zoom link, shoot me a text, shoot me an email, whatever's easiest for you. I am here to help. I'm here to help you find that perfect place. So with that, I'm Evan Deal with the Lead Icon team in eXp Realty. If you liked this video, leave a like below. It really helps, and we appreciate everyone. Hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you're kept in the loop on everything happening in and around Indianapolis, Circle City, that we love to call home. Leave a comment. We'd love to know what you're talking about, and can't have a conversation if it's only me talking. So I want to hear from you. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Have a good one.